I remember calling the Commissioner for Transport. I said, oh boy, our freight forwarders must be working. So I need police. I need police to help them, protect them, because people were being molested that time. We had several meetings during that time. Shippers Council, Customs, Nibasa, Dewa. We were having meetings that time. We were working. When the shops were locked, I remember going to one of the shops and said, open this shop, we need something critical. We have to sew masks, buy or sew masks to make sure that you are working, because government says freight forwarding is a critical business. And every critical business must not stop. And that not only in Nigeria, everywhere in the world. So logistics is the backbone of international business. Okay, it has become a critical component of global economy. And the Charter of Logistics and Transport says that logistics is getting the right product in the right quantity, in the right condition, at the right place, at the right time, for the right customer, at the right price. Is that correct?
Yes.
So you must be right in everything you do. If you are wrong anywhere, you have broken the logistic chain. A colleague of mine, when he was in Germany, said when it was dispatched, I knew when it was dispatched. I also had another thing that came with it. I knew it had been dispatched. I know when it left. I know when they say in Nigeria. Okay, that any month from now I will receive it. So I knew that is part of tracking your concern. Okay, but I think that although I'm a member of this institute, I'm actually the immediate past deputy national president for Nigeria. You see, but I think that this definition is a bit deficient. Include human resources, positioning them in the right place for the right place to add value is logistics. So I would rather make an inclusive definition to include every material and human resource. When you get them in the right place at the right time, then value is added. Okay, so I added mine that is, logistics is not limited to product of material resources, so it will be good to add that logistics is a timely position and transition of any entity's resources to satisfy stakeholders' objective through value addition. Now you find this in the dictionary because I just added it from my own experience. That logistics must cover human and material, not just resources. Okay, so logistics is in a service-driven economy. So this is very important that before, how you know a developed country is a country that has a lot of production lines. So they produce this, they produce that, and all of that. So if you are highly deficient in production, you are a developed country. The game has changed. How you now know a developed country is a country that renders more services. In fact, goods is now a function of those who are developing. It is those who render services that are rendered efficiently that are developed countries. So, for example, the United States, they have 21% to 79% mixture of goods and services, which means 21% of goods, 79% of services. And let me just compress this with what happened to me at my own personal experience. I had somebody close to me who as a freight forwarder, but this is operator. Because what we are now is service economy. That is how the world has transitioned. Service. Anywhere you go in the world now, your money is not flying for just services. The goods don't cost that much. Okay? So that is how the world has been constructed. Even in Nigeria, 56% of our GDP is services. Global average, 70% of GDP, global GDP is services. So we are in a service economy. Okay, so what you can do very well, your skills, your talent determine where you go. It's not really, you can purchase, you can be a car dealer, and all your cars are hanging, nobody's buying it. But you can render services that alert with dropping, come. You know what the banks are doing? You do transaction, they say cost of transaction, 53 naira. You withdraw 80 and they say 20 something naira. At the end they post billions of naira. It's just services they're rendering. Imagine having something like that be dropping alert, even alert may not drop boom. But if it's dropping come for 200 million people around here, you can go and sleep when your alert is dropping. And when you come up and do summation at the end of the year, you just made a big man. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for where I will set up, even if I use witchcraft and get all of you. And when we talk about services, we're not just talking about 100% services. If what you are consuming, a lot about it is services, then it's grouped, even if it's a manufactured product. But if the greater component of the cost that you incur in procuring it is for services, that's automatically grouped as services. You understand what I mean? Just like the example I gave about the orthopedic bed. So what I purchase for services more. So it's going to be grouped as services rather than. But in other language, it's your ability to grasp the information required to move a product from one corner to the other and respond adequately. It is then you say, I'm logistically competent. For example, I want to get something from Australia, and they are like 11 hours ahead of us. I know all the geography, I know the time zones, I know the implication when I'm going to place the order, I know the route I'm going to use, I know the airlines, possible airlines that will give me better quotes. If I'm able to do that, I get to Nigeria, maybe it's mobile that needs it. It means I have to get the thing down here. Okay, getting this product, getting this pen, for instance, over here, I have a training for today, and I'm able to get these pens down here today, yesterday. That's logistic competence. If it arrives tomorrow or next tomorrow, it doesn't help matters. It has, my show has been spoiled. Okay, so that's an example. If all of us render products, have the capacity to deliver products or services at the right time, the right place when it's needed to add value, then we are competent. Logistically. And if we're not, we need to do more. 3 C's that will guide us in building our competence. First, we need to focus on the customer. There's a focus on the competitor, and there's a focus on the company. You know, some companies go down because of lack of confidence. There's a big difference between efficiency and effectiveness. Those airlines you mentioned were effective. We see them running everywhere. Change and give. It's running. They're running. But they may be running to the grave. They may be dying instrumentally. How many times have you done a health check? How many of you have done a health check recently? Okay. How many of you have done a business health check recently? Okay. Am I really allowed to do? We need to focus on customer we are serving, because some of you have lost customers, haven't you? How many of you have lost customers recently? Too many. You lost. Yes, you lost. Give a quote online and arrive on time and respond. You go to the website, you say, I need the prefer to move something from Nigeria from Iran. They respond. How much they respond? Some of you will not see the quote until the good arrive in Nigeria, because you are still hard copy preferred. I went to Kano to do a training, and I had a friend start a business and consummate it electronically. How many of you have a portal where they can pay you online? Click here, and they pay, and you run the service. No, most of us don't have. So we are facing stiff competition. We need to come back and ask ourselves, am I ready for 24th century business? If not, we need to do something. Then we'll talk about trade logistics. You are actually at the forefront of trade logistics. You are facilitating the movement of goods and services. Some customers will just buy something within code terms and tell you X works. X works means the supplier or manufacturer drop the good in his own warehouse or showroom, and technically, legally, he has delivered. And he has handed over the risk. Risk has transferred from him to you. Okay, so how you pick it up from Jamaica and get to Nigeria is not your business. Okay? So that's trade logistics. So you are at the center of trade logistics. That's the starting by saying logistics is the backbone of international business. So once it's handed over, say X works, terms of trade. Finish. So if you are a local player and you don't have someone over there to help you pick up from the, in fact, the supplier or manufacturer does not have any business with loading the goods. So you arrange for loading, he just places it at the distance and says, I've supplied. So risk from there. If it is stolen, if it is destroyed, that's your business. Because the terms of sale is S-works. So you need to have competence to manage that. So let's look at the idea of logistic performance. There are three main areas of branches of logistics. One, inbound logistics, easy, inbound, good is coming, outbound, maybe export. But there's another third angle, which is reverse logistics. How many of us know reverse logistics? Reverse logistics, yes sir, yes sir. Yeah, can you tell us a little bit? We plan to and fro. But sometimes you have to make a third leg. Because the one that has arrived, which you should have taken into your warehouse, needs another leg because it didn't meet your specification. If what I have here doesn't meet what I want, or if they have written, instead of writing www.crffn.org, they wrote something else, I will have said, I will place it for return. Okay, that is the third arm of this. So, for all of this place to work, there is going to be good quality infrastructure, transport infrastructure, and even trade infrastructure to enable these things flow seamlessly. Unfortunately for Africa, the records have that poor quality of African transport infrastructure accounts for 40% of logistics costs in coastal countries like Nigeria, and about 60% in landlocked countries like Niger or Chad. So which means logistics is a major cost. Think about when the cost associated with logistics alone is up to 60%. Then you can see what's left. It means that logistics is a major cost on international trade. And if you can manage that cost very well, then you are in business because you are a solution provider. I just gave an example of the, let me see if I did. Okay, there. But let me say that this program we have now is an intervention by World Bank, because World Bank has now seen, okay, so logistics is costing us so much, and if we're unfortunate to be in a landlocked country, logistics cost becomes greater, because Nigeria Republic will wait for Cotonou to receive before they get the product. They will also wait for Nigeria before they get the product. So you can look at the various costs. When they didn't arrive at our port, or Cotonou port, or Ghana port, and then they begin to arrange for local transport to take it to their place, all that cost is killing many nations. Many nations are not competitive. Okay, so we need to address it. And those who are making people to be competitive of countries, as those of you stated here, they are the 11 players in the field of business. And if we play very well, our country will come up very brightly. They look at logistics as a critical factor in national competitiveness, and then they develop that thing they call LPI, Logistics Performance Index, which is if you perform very well logistically, your country becomes very competitive. Even your company to cascade that. So the LPI benchmarks countries against each other. Like I said, the LPI is based on a worldwide survey carried out across more than 5,000 freight forwarders and logistics firms who operate internationally. Each respondent rates their trade logistics experience with 8 countries they trade most. So this is how they did the research, or they do research and come up with our rating and ranking. So if we trade with China, yes, we know that. We trade with UK, we trade with USA, we trade with Spain, and another top country that we trade more with. Then they will freight forwarders who move these goods actually will rate their experience on clearing the parameters we adhere, efficiency of clearing process. Efficiency of clearing process. So if your clearing is seamless, you don't need to go and see customer and say, well, let's see.